Today's lesson is going to be on point slope form. And this is the equation. And you have that y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So what does this mean? You can have a point over here, my y coordinate on an order pair would be replaced over here. My x coordinate would be replaced over here. And my slope, which you guys already know that it's named by the m, denoted by the m, will be replaced over here. So this is very easy to do. They're two-step equations. It's really not that hard to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write the equation at the top so that I don't have to write it more than once. So the equation would be y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So, for example, they can give you a slope and a point, and they can ask you what is the equation of that line. So what you need to do is your m is 2, your x is 3, and your y would be 2. So this would be your x, and that would be your y. And all you're doing is just plugging in the equation, okay? So I'm going to need a little bit more space. I'm going to erase that real quick and then go ahead and do it again. So this would be my x, and that would be my y. Okay, so let's plug in. I have that y minus my y1 would be 2 equals, what's my slope? 2. X minus x1, and x1 would be my 3. And then after this, we just solve. I'm going to distribute that 2. So this is y minus 2 equals 2x minus 6. And then I'm going to add a 2 on both sides of the equation. And I get that y equals, this is 0, 2x minus 4. So the correct answer was R. It's that simple, guys, okay? So we're going to practice a few. Let's go ahead and do the next one. This would be, I'm going to do this one in red. This one would be my x, and that would be my y. So the equation, I'm going to bring it up so that I can see, would be y minus, my y1 would be 4, and that equals my slope, which is negative 3, and then x minus my x1, which would be from the 1 point that I have, which is 1, okay? So now I'm going to distribute. Okay, so this would be, I'm going to slide it down, y minus 4 equals negative 3x, and then negative 3 times negative 1 would be plus 3. Now I'm going to add 4 on both sides, and y equals, because this is 0, negative 3x plus 7. So the correct answer was O. Alright, same thing over here. Identify your x and your y. And let's plug it in. I'm going to write the equation at the top. The equation is y minus y1 equals m x minus times x minus x. Uh-oh. X minus x1. So let's go ahead and plug it. Or substitute. Y1 would be 3 equals, my slope is negative 5, and then my x1 is negative 1. Okay? So let's see. Y minus 3 stays the same. I'm going to go ahead and distribute. What is negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Minus, because I already have a minus, what is negative 5 times negative 1 would be 5. But then that becomes negative because of that minus in there. This one right there. All right, now I'm going to add a 3 on both sides. And y equals, that was 0, negative 5x minus negative 5 and positive 3 would be minus 2. So the correct answer is M. Okay, so another way, on the next three, I'm going to show you another way of doing this. Another way that you can do this is, and if they give you the slope and the point, and you want to figure out which one of these two is the equation that goes through that point and has that slope. What you can do is we can use the point, you can plug in the points and see which one makes the equation true. And this is what I mean. I'm going to come over here and my x equals negative 4, my y equals negative 7. My slope is supposed to be 3, and it is 3. I got both of my slopes are 3. The rate of change is 3. So instead of using the point slope formula, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the value of x and the value of y in the equation and make sure, figure out which one makes it true. So the y would be negative 7, and that equals 3 times what the value of x is negative 4 plus 1. All right? So negative 7 equals 3 times negative 4 would be negative 12. Plus 1. Negative 12 plus 1 is negative 11. This is not true, so this would not be the equation of that line. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one just to make sure that that is correct. So I'm going to plug in the y again. The y is negative 7. And then 3 times negative 4 plus 5. So 3 times negative 4 would be negative 12. Plus 5, that would be negative 7, and negative 7 is equal to negative 7. So this one is the equation of the line. Either way, you can use the point. You can use the point slope form, or you can go ahead and plug in the values of x and y. Either way, it will be okay. I'm going to plug in values again over here so that you can practice a little bit more with this one. So the x equals 5, the y equals negative 2. So let's plug in. Y is 2. My slopes are negative 1. And I know because there's only one x in both of them, and my slope needs to be negative 1. I forgot to check that. So let's see. Negative 5, because the x is a positive 5, plus 3. So 2 equals negative 5 plus 3. I'm sorry, negative 2. That's a negative 2. I forgot about the negative. Negative 5 plus 3 would be negative 2, so I'm thinking this is the equation one. We're going to the other one just to make sure, but I believe this is the answer. Because negative 2 does equal negative 2. This satisfies that equation. That's the point that goes through that line and has a slope of negative 1. So we're going to do it on the other side. It will be negative 2 equals negative 5 minus 1, and negative 2 equals negative 1, and negative 5 would be negative 6, so that's not true, so this is not my equation. All right, on the next line, I have a slope of 1/2, and that is correct for both of them. I'm looking for a line that has a slope of 1/2 and goes through the point 6, 1. So x equals 6, y equals 1, and I'm going to plug in. The y equals 1, 1/2 times the value of the x, which is 6, minus 5. Half of 6 is 3. 3 minus 5 is -2, so if 1 is not equal to -2, so actually this is not the equation of the line. I'm going to go ahead and double check on the other one. The y is 1. Half of x, which is 6. Half of 6 would be 3. 3 minus 2 is 1, so this is the equation of the line. So you got two ways that you can do this. You can use a slope, point slope form, or you can just go ahead and plug it. Either way is fine. Alright, what about this one? I'm asking you in this one, I give you the equation in the form slope and point, and I want the slope, I want the slope, and I want the equation of the line in standard. Okay? I'm sorry, in slope intercept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this. And right now is in this form. Right now is on slope, point, and I want to change it to slope intercept. Okay? So I'm going to solve this equation. That's all I'm doing over here. So y plus 2 equals, I'm going to multiply, -1/6 times x is -1/6x. -1 times -9 would be plus 9/6. Now, I'm not going to simplify or anything because the calculator will take care of this for me, okay? So this would be -2 minus 2. That would be 0. So y equals -1/6x, and this is where the calculator puts it in. So to write down fractions on a calculator, you always have to put them on inside parentheses. I'm going to say 9/6 minus 2. And if it gives it to me as a fraction, do not worry about it. Just go back to math, change it to a fraction, and that would be minus 1/2. All right. Now, so what's the slope of this line? -1/6. What's the y-intercept of this line? -1/2. All right, let's do the next one. History good? -4/3 times x is -4/3 x. -4/3 times 1 is -4/3. Plus 5 plus 5. That is 0. So y equals -4/3 x. And now I grab my calculator and I'm going to do this -4/3. Go back. -4/3 plus 5. Gives it to me as a fraction. Do not worry. Uh-oh, I have to do it again. -4/3 plus 5. So let's go back to math and change it to a fraction. And that would be 11 over 11/3 plus 11/3. the slope of this line? -4/3. And what's the y-intercept of this line? 11/3. Okay, so I'm going to do this last bit for you, and then I want you to try the other two. So I need the slope and the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and distribute. Y equals -7/2x plus 7 times 8 would be 50. No, it's not a plus, I'm sorry, it's a minus. That's a -7/2 by 8. That will be 56 divided by 2, right? Because that's over 1. And you do the numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and simplify that. Just because I don't like that. Because that can be simplified. So 56 divided by 2 would be 28. So what's the slope of this line? -7/2. And what's the y-intercept? -28. Okay, so one more. Let's distribute. So y plus 4 equals 2 times x, 2x, 2 times -3, -6. I'm going to do -4, -4. So y equals 2x minus 10. -6 and -4 will be -10. So the slope is 2. The y-intercept is -10. All right. So you guys, that's it for me. You guys need to complete those two on your